Good. It's good to be back. I will say I've looked through their decks, and to Chakki's credit, his decks are the most well organized. Cheers to Chakki for that. They're really easy to follow compared to some of the other player submissions.
How is that? Like for people who may be interested in organizing their decks a little bit better.
He uploaded a entire album which contained all of his decks rather than a separate page for each one. So it's much easier to follow that way.
Mr. Chakki.
As far as the decks go, we have both of them are bringing a hunter. I think Chakki is the only person who brought a mage today.
All right.
And his mage deck is a freeze mage deck. It's not a mech mage deck. So it's a full spell damage, board clear oriented deck. Should be a really exciting match when we see that.
Yeah, I like that choice too. We haven't been seeing a lot of warriors really throughout the tournament then.
Yes, Chakki has a warrior, and I believe, yes, Xixo also has a warrior. So we'll see some more of those. The warriors are actually very different, the way they've organized them.
Yeah.
Chakki as well has a bomb lobber in his, similar to Dog's warrior. Xixo does not. Xixo has a lot more late game. He's just packed all the legendary creatures you can imagine into his late game. Well, Chakki has, I mean, they both do. I guess they're both warriors when you really look at it. They have quite a few legendary cards each.
Yeah. To go back into the freeze mage, the cool thing about this format is usually, or a lot of the time, when you bring a freeze mage to another tournament and another format, then, you know, they just counterpick right after with a warrior. But, you know, here you just need to win one game with a freeze mage.
Yes,
and
that's very true.
it's one of those decks that has really unfavored and favored matchups, and you know, if you can just avoid the unfavored ones, you're good.
I know exactly what you mean. Like some of the decks, sometimes it just powerhouses through the opponent, so probably picking up one win with it shouldn't be too difficult. If he accumulated maybe 2 losses trying to get that win, then I'd say it wasn't worth it. But even if he lost to a warrior and then proceeded to beat the next deck, it was still a good choice.
Yeah.
Are they in the game? Looks like they are in the game.
And Xixo's gonna open with Druid. I think this is the Druid that runs the Fugan and Stalag, correct?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, he actually brought Fugan and Stalag in his Druid deck. He has very little late game creatures. He had like 1 8-drop, which I think was Sneeds, and then the rest was all kind of 5 mana stuff. But to see Fugan and Stalag played in a tournament is pretty unusual, so I'm happy to see how this plays out.
Yeah, Xixo was talking at the house about this deck and how he likes Fugan and Stalag, and he says, you know, it's more often than you would think that he gets to play Mr. What's the fat guy called? The huge guy?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. Mr.
Yes.
Thaddeus.
This is definitely a good match for it, too. I mean, a warrior's not going to have silences, probably, and they're going to take a while to kill you, so you have time to draw it.
Yeah. So, double piloted Shredder as well in this Druid. Another very powerful card against Warrior.
Yeah, to be sure. It's pretty much exactly what you want right now. Although he didn't have wild growth, right? So it's really his only disadvantage. Lightwell is not too good for him, though.
Yeah.
Lightwell is probably the last thing he wanted. There's Stalag showing up for battle. So yeah, we can see the Shredders. They have kind of a unique advantage against a warrior, where a warrior wants to get the value from his cards, so he wants to kill it with a weapon, and that just makes him lose all of the health that he's gained.
Yeah, they're also really sticky minions, so they're better against cards like Brawl and stuff, even though we didn't see it this game.
Yeah, it's good against shield slams and things, just because it's a waste of a shield slam to kill only half the creature. Alright, well, they whipped through those early turns. We had Innervate Ancient of Lore, which is really good. You want cards desperately against a warrior. That's really how you're going to win as the druid. Nice shield slam here. Picks up basically an empty board with just the Lightwell remaining.
Yeah,
Probably
very good.
probably a Dr. Boom next turn. It's turn 7. It'd be a rare occasion not to play that.
Yeah, Dr. Boom's on both hands though.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be nicer for the warrior here, by the looks of it. Nicer for Chakki, because he's going first with the boom, if that's actually what he plays. And then Xixo will want a big game hunter that, so he will miss his perfect 7-mana boom, but we'll see if that's actually how it plays.
Yeah, I mean, he could just boom in response. There's going to be plenty of targets potentially for that big game hunter in this matchup, so can't just so easily, you know, be like, oh, big game hunter target. Nope, it's a warrior, dude. There's going to be a bunch of those.
Yeah, that's true. Like, maybe he knows that he won't have a good way to deal with Ragnaros, so he'd rather save the big game hunter for that if he suspects that that's going to be played. Or even, you know, we see Alex Straza. There's a lot of choices.
Yeah, we're going to see swipe it into VGH by the looks of it.
Kind of the most aggressive play he could make there to wipe out everything.
Regain some board control to some extent. Puts his opponent on the drawing board. So I don't mind that play, but is it the right play, you think? I mean, they're going to be going into a late game. Does board presence really matter that much right now?
I mean, the warrior's creatures are going to be easier to deal with if there's only one at a time. If you're making sure he's playing a single thing each turn, you kind of have a clear goal. So that's probably what he had in mind.
Alrighty.
He does have, he's got Fugan now. So certainly that's a possibility to be playing some of those.
Yeah, and like you said, warrior a lot of the time lacks silence. So we'll see. I mean, there should still be a Sylvanas in that deck though, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are potential answers. And the warrior is also a good class to actually kill the Thaddeus. They have a bit better time with some of their big removal.
Yeah. Still.
Well, he sees the Fugan now. I mean, he wasn't prepared for it before. He's aware of what's going on.
Yeah, my thing bugged out.
Yeah, Fugan is the creature of those that has the better stat value, so it's not actually clear that Xixo would have Stalag yet. He might just be playing that as a creature, and you wouldn't want to overreact. Chakki's just going for it. Doesn't care at all. Alex Straza, let's put on the pressure.
Yeah, representing a Gromash could be scary.
Yes, certainly Xixo is worried about that, even though it's not there from our perspective. Be the most important thing in your mind right now is how do I not die to Gromash?
Yeah, there is a Ragnaros, so I mean, that's less reliably scary, but still kind of scary. And
The Ragnaros, I mean, there was, I think, another way using the 2 Savage Roars, which would have been safe, but probably he knew he couldn't. And
Yeah,
he
so-
misses, but now he'll find out there actually is no Gromash.
yeah, so that's gonna be good news for him. He was going for the really kind of risky play, but at the same time the play that would get him, would give him a niche even if he could snipe the
or even
islands.
just like he wouldn't give up all his advantage. If he had to play the 2 Roars to safe clear it, how's he going to win, right? So take the risk at least and have a shot at it.
Yeah. Like you said, though, he will be finding out that there is no Gromash. Is that
Does
going to
he
be
care
enough,
at 4 HP? Oh, and a 50-50 for
though?
lethal
Another
here.
50-50 indeed.
Oh,
Ooh,
he missed.
misses.
Is there actually a play? I think he could draw, but the Alex Straza will kill him. He's being punished here for using that big game hunter, to be sure.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
Xixo
Well,
clearly
the
not happy
spats.
with that loss.
Yeah, they're pretty close friends, I think, Xixo and Chakki. So, spamming emotes against each other, of course.
Probably
standard.
Xixo was sad he didn't get to put that Stalag into battle. He had the full setup against a warrior. That's really when you want to see it work, and then just didn't get to be played. Bit of a disappointment. I would have liked to see it work too, even if Thaddeus was only summoned, just to get that rare moment.
Yeah. And do you think the turning point then was the first 50-50 with Ragnaros, or was the game already leaning towards Chakki by then?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the Ragnaros had hit Alexstrasza, certainly he'd be in a better spot, but he still would have had nothing to kill the Warriors Ragnaros. So I think as soon as that Alexstrasza went down and he realized I don't have enough on board to deal with an 8-8, that was probably the position that he knew he was way behind in.
Yeah.
Alexstrasza came, I think, almost right on turn 9, or it was very early in the battle. So quick application of pressure to just end it before it went on too long.
Alrighty. So, Xixo bringing the mech mage.
Oh, did he have a mage? Well, damn.
Yeah, mech mage, man.
So they both have a mage then, different versions of it.
Alrighty. This is correct, Rob?
I mean, yeah, the
They
mana
both have
usage here
mages?
is
Gucci? Gucci.
the mana usage there. He could have also played the Wild Growth and then Hero Power next turn. He wants the card value from the coin, basically, but I think a lot of druids would Wild Growth in that position, just to hopefully deal with the clockwork later.
Yeah, and another wild growth is drawn here.
So, for example, if he had Wild Growth last turn, he could have Wrathed the Snow Chugger instead of dealing with the clockwork. Just a
Right.
different play. Oh. So, that Tinkertown's pretty imposing, with no way to kill it. Looks like he'll just Wild Growth again. But even Wild Growthing again is not very good here. He's giving up a card, and he only has a 5 mana play. So it might not kick in until turn 7 that's actually going to be really useful to him.
Yeah. What could he be wanting to draw here to make that wild growth a little bit more effective, perhaps?
Sylvanas would be good. Sylvanas would probably be the only 6-drop. I didn't actually look at the deck, but could be a Karen or something in there.
All right.
Blast
Think
Mage
so.
on nothing.
Yeah, wanting to put on the pressure, I suppose, and perhaps more than that, to have things on board to be ready to clear whatever Chakki throws on the board himself.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely ugly for the Druid right now, but his whole goal is to just survive this early game momentum. And if he can come out of this with even 10 health left, he'll probably be able to pull a win.
All right, we'll see if he's able to do that.
Sludge is a bit questionable because it's going to die to the Blast Mage, and the Blast Mage will survive. Whereas Lotheb would not.
Yeah, is it a possibility for Xixo to use Fireball here as well?
Yeah.
Instead of
he
using
has-
the body of his Goblin Blast Mage?
He has really the best choices. The Mad Scientist is going to be so potent with, I guess you could play Mind Control Tech to take the Mirror Entity, but it's going to consume his entire turn to just deal with the Mirror Entity.
Yeah.
That once a Scientist is procced, it'll be pretty horrible.
All right. Looks like he may use the bodies that he has on board to get rid of the Sludge Belcher and his slime. And like you said, plays the Mad Scientist. Is this the play that you would have gone for? The one that you prefer here?
Yeah, I like this a lot. Those Scientists, I mean, especially with 2 of them, he wants to make sure that he gets them working right away.
Keeper is a nice draw here for Chakki.
Yeah, it's good. Do you think it saves him? He's looking at 11 damage at the moment.
Likely not. He was probably hoping for a swipe there, huh?
Mind Control Tech is pretty awkward. 3 creatures.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like Xixo would play a 4th either, with our knowledge.
Yeah. Lotheb comes down this turn.
And he draws a Mirror Entity. That's a really bad draw with both Scientists. Now it means one of those Scientists just won't do anything.
Yeah, and the Lotheb just going down on board as well. Doesn't help.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Lotheb was a pretty good choice there. He could play the
Yeah.
keeper to take it next turn. And he knows he's going to be attacked to his hero, not his creatures.
Yeah, and Six are just going for it. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a very aggressive player, aggressive nature.
So with the fireball in hand, he could do 7 and then 2 scientists. So as long as he kills the 4/3 this turn, he won't die next turn. So he doesn't need to heal here.
There's always a top deck, dude. Top deck.
Yes, there is. He could top deck Frostbolt. He could not top deck another fireball though, because he only has 7 mana.
I must safeguard the land.
The mind control tech. Oh, that's so painful.
Oh, wow.
You expect the mage to flood the board a bit more at some point.
Yeah, what do you think about the silence there?
Well, we know that he has a mirror entity, so in reality that silence is useless, but I guess that's a good choice. You don't want to deal with 2 of them if you can avoid it. You know that that's really your main problem in this match.
Even then, though, maybe he didn't want to proc whatever secret this turn either.
Yeah, that's true. If he just... because he could have killed it otherwise, and that would pop at that turn. Okay. Well, he could heal. And he has the Wrath. That's a pretty good pickup for this turn. So he could actually clear the board entirely here.
All right.
But if he's clearing the board, he doesn't need to heal. So he could also opt to draw cards. Or maybe he would deal with the mirror entity this turn.
He heals.
Very, very scary stuff here. Both players running on nothing. He's got all his creatures out now, so that mirror entity's just gonna force the future turns. They're not impacting him at the moment.
Yeah. Oh,
And
wow.
he knows he won't die.
Whirling Sapomatic, dude.
Yeah, that's a really, really good creature to get. One of the best
Yeah.
among
it's scary.
shielded minibot and all the other favorites.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, though, on an empty board, it's just so scary. Like, every turn that passes, he's gonna do so much damage. But Xixo is just gonna go for the face. For the face.
Well, he knows what he's after. I'm interested not to play the Mystic there. Certainly he's not going to get a secret with it, so guess he just knows he needs specific things now to win. Not
Yeah.
a lot of choices.
I mean,
Mind control
if he
and
played the
everything.
Mystic, he couldn't ping for 1 and then Fireball next turn is not, or Fireball's not lethal next turn, right? If he draws into it.
Yes, you're correct. So right now he's hoping for exactly second fireball.
Yeah, and he's not gonna get it. He's gonna
No,
go
he's going to
Cogmaster
get a
instead.
Cogmaster.
Yeah.
About the worst thing.
Probably the worst thing he could ever think of. So he's gonna play it anyway. He has the mana for Castle Mystic, but chooses not to
Why
play it.
he's
That's weird.
choosing to hold it. I guess maybe he wants the psychological value. Yeah, certainly that will end the game. That
Yeah.
was really nicely done by Chakki. He got
Yeah, well
down
done by
so
Chakki
low.
indeed.
Oh, at the beginning, I mean, you remember the start of that match? That looked horrible for him. He was playing into an ugly board. There was mirror entities coming out.
So very well done by him. I was talking to Xixo, he's also very tired today, so he wasn't too confident as he usually is before a match. But I think he can bring it back here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, considering the series we saw against Dog and Tides, that was just ridiculous back and forth. So hopefully they can give us the same. I think they're already heading into the second match immediately.
Right. Second match will be starting shortly here, boys and grills. And it's gonna be Xixo against Chakki, and this time around, Xixo is gonna keep his mage, and Chakki bringing out the hunter, his third deck today.
So that's
Dude,
two.
Worgen Infiltrator.
Oh yeah, I know. The hunters, they all play a hunter deck, but they're all a little different. Chakki has 2 Worgen Infiltrators.
Nice.
I imagine just trying to fill the gap of the 1-drop after the Undertaker.
Yeah, I suppose.
Think the Blast Mage will kill it for free?
That's probably the dream here for Xixo. But there is a Knife Juggler with a Haunted Creeper on board, so it's always something. Also an Eagle Horn Bow to potentially get rid of the Chugga Chugga. What play do you like here?
I think, yeah, I like the weapon here. That looks probably the best to me. You're going to get frozen, but that's fine. Saving the Eagle Horn. You want to do it for a secret anyways.
Yeah, is he gonna trade though with the spiders or the infiltrator? He goes for the
Looks like
spiders.
spider.
Alright.
That was a pretty good turn because he removed all the mech synergy on the board. It's going to be tough to play into that. Xixo has the 4-drop though, which would be quite nice for him.
Yeah. Are you surprised that Chakki went face with Worgen Infiltrator? I guess he's decided, you know, obviously he's playing a face hunter, but he's decided that he's not going to fight too much for the board, I guess.
Yeah,
Can you-
I mean, it doesn't really surprise me, to be honest.
No.
It's a hunter attacking face, so it's about par for the course. That turn from Xixo kind of surprised me. Instead of the 4-drop, he goes Chugger again and Hero Power the 2-1, which I
Yeah.
guess he's hoping to chain the freeze or just make this uncomfortable because it's missing a damage.
Yeah. And Kesa Mystic may actually see play this game. Or see
Yeah.
use, I suppose.
Very true. Like last game, it looked pretty awkward, but maybe he was hiding his tech last game. That's why he didn't play it.
That's quite possible, actually. Expecting the hunter to eventually come out. Yeah,
No.
that's probably what it was, huh?
No traps to speak of. I think it's only a explosive trap in the deck, so stealing that would be really good for him at any point in the battle.
Yeah. Oh,
Doesn't
Those
get
juggles.
both.
yeah.
That second
I'm
juggle.
actually always a little bit happy when they miss, but oh, is he gonna miss?
Oh yeah, he has more. Surely he can get the juggle.
Oh. Last 50-50 and he gets it. Okay.
That would have been really unfortunate to lose it at that point after he already committed. Oh,
Yeah.
he finally gets to use the Blast Mage.
Yeah, we'll see if he's as lucky here. He is very lucky indeed.
Yes, that was quite good. Whew. Killing the Arcane Golem was probably the most important thing for him.
Over the juggler even, you would say? Or
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Double Juggler. It's almost sad that it killed the Clockwork. He could have got an extra Hound.
yeah. Actually probably not what he was going for.
Well, Chakki's all in. Huh.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't be too sad if I was in the position that Chakki is right now. I mean, most of his cards should be able to direct damage.
Yeah,
So-
I think Chakki's, he's in a very good spot because even if the board was cleared here, he has a lot of health that will take a while for him to die, so probably 3 turns, and he hopes he'll get some damage.
Yeah.
Wow. Not Dr. Boom.
All right.
Such restraint. Turn 7, and he didn't play Dr. Boom.
Yeah, especially with 2 jugglers on board, the bombs could be one of those things that bring you back, you know, like he's kind of almost forced to kill them.
I think he probably, at this turn, you're about ready to accept it. No damage in his hand. It's not like he has a Flame Strike draw. Emergency Coolin's pretty good. Can he avoid death? I think he can.
Yeah, quite unfortunate. No traps for him to steal here.
Yeah, that was really bad. If he could have gotten just a single trap, because the explosive trap will kill all of the creatures that the hunter ever summons this game.
Yeah. That's exactly so. Lots of
And the
value back
silence
there, but
for
yeah.
exact lethal.
Exact lethal, dude. And Chakki with that is gonna put himself up to a 3-0 lead.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's a very quick 3-0 lead. Might just see a quick 4-0. I'm sure that's got to be taking a toll on Xixo's morale at that point.
Yeah, definitely.
It's tough to make a good pick. I guess he could know what the final deck is, but just when you're in that mindset of, nothing worked that game. He had double juggler with one card in his hand with
Yeah.
juggler unleashed. Like, that's got to be rather frustrating.
Definitely, man. And it's gonna be Chakki's Freeze Mage against Xixo's Mech Mage. What do you think about this matchup?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, Xixo is almost certainly dead. This is a
Really?
90-10 matchup. It's
What?
incredibly in favor of the Freeze Mage. First of all, Mirror Entity, both the Doomsayers and Explosive Sheep
Oh.
will kill the opponent's creatures from Mirror Entity.
Yeah.
You have a lot of board clear, you have HP gains, and as soon as you Alexstrasza them, the game ends because they have no healing.
Right.
Very
Okay.
difficult for the Mech Mage to win here.
And Mirror Entity is drawn by Xixo because, you know, that's the last thing he needed.
Yeah. He doesn't have a clear indication of what mage deck Chakki's playing, I think, right now, though. Mad Scientist could be anything. So he has to play a little bit conservatively still, too.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna trade here into the Mad Scientist, or?
I wouldn't imagine so.
Oh,
Looks like he does. Let's see, Grit. Ice Block.
The end is coming, and Chakki reveals his hand here. I guess it could still be Fatigue Mage.
Yes, it could, but it would be unlikely. Probably he would be suspecting some type of freeze at this point, because with the Fatigue, you would want to get a later Doomsayer to maximize the creature value. That's actually probably the best Mirror Entity he could expect.
What if that was a duplicate though? Wouldn't you?
Instead of Ice Block, you mean?
Yeah. Would
Well,
the Doomsayer
then-
represent any additional threat or no?
Not really, because the Doomsayer wouldn't get duplicated.
Oh, right. Doesn't activate. Okay.
So that Mirror Entity, I mean, you want to punish them for using Mirror Entity, and giving him an Acolyte of Pain would be fantastic. That's about the best creature. Oh, and the Kezan Mystic. I totally forgot. Maybe he does have a better chance. If he steals Ice Block, that would be pretty huge. He can force it to happen, too.
I mean, yeah, Kessel's Mystic. Does he run one or two? Do you know? Because he's drawn it like every
only
game. now.
one. Yeah, he's drawn it every game. Pretty sure it's only one.
Yeah, so I guess he's gonna go for the forced Ice Block, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, considering what I just said, this is really bad for Chakki. No creature that you want to play into that entity since he used his Doomsayer so early. He can't draw cards. Ah, there's the sheep. But of course he'll get another mirror entity from the scientist.
Yeah.
You might be able to do sheep and acolyte on the same turn. And then just accept that the acolyte will die, but it's going to get better value than getting mirror entity.
Yeah, and cycle a little bit.
This is fine though. He knows that will work later, so no reason to use it yet.
And Xixo activating the Ice Barrier. Would you play Kessel's Mystic now or save it till later, perhaps, or Finishing Blow?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good tech play to have in this match. I think I like this where he invests in the board and just gets it later.
Yeah.
It's unlikely that he would get stuck taking barrier.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would like to see him keep it too, because it's such a not card to have in your hand. No one really, or it's so hard to account for it.
Yeah, and he's had it every game, but he hasn't played it yet, so
Yeah, exactly.
Chakki's going to be totally unaware of that.
So I like that he's keeping it for now and trying to put out as much damage as he can. We're probably gonna see a Dr. Boom here.
Yep. Chakki could kill it with the sheep and the frostbolt, but Dr. Boom's not very pleasant no matter how you have to kill it.
I mean, Dr. Boom, come on, you got 7 mana, it costs 7. That's about as
Yeah,
much
yeah.
thinking as.
You're going to play it to be sure.
Yeah. There's a mirror entity sheep, so nice play by Chakki here.
See what the Shredder comes up with. and that will die.
Yeah. Good night, Hyena. And Chakki manages to clear the board.
So, I mean, if we were looking at this, of him not having a Kezan Mystic in his hand, this would be pretty awful right now.
Yeah.
But stealing that Ice Block gives him some more potential for late game, especially if he draws his Archmage and gets like a spare part in the next couple turns. Oh, he gives him the... I guess he felt pressured when he lost his Ice Block.
Yeah, so he really wants to try and play that Archmage Antonidas next turn, potentially. So feels pressured, like you said.
If he waits until 10 mana, he could do Archmage and Frost Nova, which is a really strong play, because it's kind of setting up the defensive capability that you need for it.
Uh-huh. Another 3 mana spell. Perhaps if he gets a second Icelands or something, that would be worth playing the Archmage here. But does he have to? What can he do?
I think he just wants to kill this stuff right now.
Blizzard.
He just wants to, yeah, or even Frost Nova and draw again. One Flame Strike and this is all gone. So as long as he doesn't die, even Alex Strazing himself, the Mech Mage will have no cards.
All right, chooses to go for the Blizzard, but yeah, what do you think? Is that for the setup that you were talking about with Archmage Frost Nova this next turn coming up?
It could be. The Frost Nova is a bit more useful, so since he had 6 mana anyways, probably just might as well play the Blizzard, because you can do more things with the cheaper freeze.
Yeah, Xixo. Tiene 8 and then.
Saving that Cogmaster, not to reveal his full hand.
That's pretty much the only reason, right? And Flame Strike, of course.
Because Chakki saw him play a Fireball, I think he's pretty certain this play is safe. If he had Fireball, he would have played it last turn, and he already played one. So he knows the Archmage won't die, which is a huge advantage.
Yeah. Heal bot, wow, it's a dream.
He really needs any additional AoE here. One more board clear, and there's just no way.
No way, Jose. So does he go for the Arcane Intellect here?
It's
There are only
pretty
10
likely.
cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
only 10 cards left.
With 10 cards, like, he's got another Nova, 2 Flame Strikes, 1 Blizzard. Seems pretty probable he would draw Area of Effect. But he wants to calculate, like, if he starts doing damage now, could he kill him? There's an Ice Block in the way.
Yeah.
The Ice Block is so much more painful. He could actually, at this point, probably just go for it if there was no Ice Block there.
Yep. So lots on mathematics being applied right now. And
Tough
Arcane
job
Intellect
for us
is going to be the
casters.
choice.
Oh, he does
Blizzard.
get the Blizzard. That was a scary moment.
Yeah, I'm personally kind of rooting for Xixo here. I want to see him not get furrowed. But it's looking quite
Yeah, looks
dire here.
basically impossible now.
Basically impossible.
With the heal bot, and I mean, he wants the exact 4 with Frostbolt. Maybe he
Yeah.
won't play the heal bot.
Doomsayer being pretty much a dead draw for now. And I guess Chakki's gonna start doing his damage here. Wants to keep that Archmage Antonidas as long as possible on the board. And Healbot. Oof.
Yeah, the heal bot. Xixo is
Yeah.
cursing his luck now.
Yeah, I mean the Healbot is just
Yeah.
rip. So
Well, that was a quick series. Chakki
Yeah, that
definitely
was.
showed some good plays there.
indeed. So yeah, unfortunate for Xixo there. Losing 4-0 to his good friend Chakki from Dignitas. But I mean he kind of stuck with a Mech Mage there as well. Didn't quite work out. So I'm sure
Yeah,
that
he
makes some
saved-
people happy, right?
He stayed with that deck for quite a number of games. Might have been just too frustrating at the end there. But he made good plays that last game. He certainly didn't make any errors. That's just a very, very difficult match for him.
Yeah. So, draw the pendant match as well. But, yeah, I think that's going to do it for us today. Are we done so, Rob? So we're Gucci. And thank you very much,
Okay.
Hotform.
Thank you very much for having me.
No,
happy
thanks.
to be here.
No, thank you, man. You're so insightful. So, yeah, hope to see you around next time.
Yeah, I'd love to do this again with you sometime. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Just the caliber of players, man. I couldn't say no. You have so many good players in this tournament.
Yeah, quite insane. So if you want to give us some shout-outs where people can find you.
You can watch me stream. I'll be streaming later today, probably in like an hour or two on Twitch TV/Hotform. And I have a Twitter, which I'm just starting to use, but it's Dylan, aka Hots. So you can find me there as well. That's also on my stream page. Most of my information would be. So you're welcome to check me out.
All right, cool. So check out Hotform, and thank you very much for watching. Next day will be Thursday at the same time in the same place. It's going to be at 10 a.m. PST. Correct about Farm Production? Yeah. So I'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching.